Hey guys, it's Ben Terry Farm. Today I'm going to show you every last ingredient that we use to make our organic broiler feed, and it'll let you understand exactly what goes into raising a pastured organic broiler here on Ben Terry Farm. Let's take a look. First step is we meet the custom feed milling truck at our corn crib, and here the operator is setting up the machine to mill the feed to the correct size for our chickens. The next step, we use a corn drag to fill the auger, which transports the corn into the feed mill on the back of the truck. And the corn we feed our chickens is a multicolored heirloom variety, which is open pollinated, it's non-GMO, and it's grown right here at Ben Terry Farm. The next step, we add yellow field peas, which are also grown here at Ben Terry Farm organically. And the field peas make up the largest percentage of the feed at about 40% by weight. And the last grain we add is wheat, which makes up the smallest amount by weight at only about 10%. We buy it from another local organic farm that we've known for many years. We then add 100% wild-caught fish meal, which is sourced from the Gulf of California. These are sardine-type fish, and it makes up about 2.7% of our feed by weight. The last ingredient we add is Poultry NutriBalancer, which is a blend of organic kelp meal as well as other organic and natural minerals to help ensure optimal nutrition. After the feed is ground and mixed, the truck backs up to our barn and uses a blower to transfer the feed into our feed bin. And here's an up-close shot of the freshly milled feed, bucketed out and ready to be transported over to the chickens in their chicken tractors. And we must not forget to mention the most important ingredient, which is pasture, which gives the chicken access to all different types of vegetation where the chicken can forage, scratch, in search of insects, grubs, seeds, whatever they can find in the soil, and live the very best life that they can possibly live. All right, now that you've seen how we make our feed and what all goes into our feed, I'd like to talk a little bit briefly about the differences between what you're seeing at the store for $1.79 or $1.89 or whatever it is for the conventional chicken per pound, and why we ask $5 per pound for our chicken. First off, as you see in the video, we're only using organic grains, and we know where they came from and what the source is, because we grow most of them here. And the things that we do buy, we've used careful consideration and research into sourcing the other ingredients. Now with the stuff at the store, my largest problem is actually the use of the antibiotics in the feed. Because if you think about the word antibiotic and what it actually means, it means anti-biology, meaning it is a poison, it's something that kills life. This is something that is used in the commercial chicken houses. Pretty much anything you see at the store, even the ones that are labeled organic, it's suspect. Antibiotics are not allowed or not permitted officially according to USDA organic standards. However, I've heard many stories about the antibiotics not being used in the feed, but they put it in the bedding. You have to also consider the companies behind the organic chicken in the stores. For instance, Bell & Evans is a major producer that you'll see in stores sold organically. And so this company is actually kind of like a shell corporation of sorts for Cargill, which is possibly one of the most destructive companies that's ever come along in terms of the agricultural world and what they've done with they're like probably the number one purveyor of the GMO crops and getting them into livestock feed. So the antibiotics is a massive problem. If you're eating an animal that its entire life had antibiotics put into its feed, those antibiotics are going to end up in your gut and in your stomach. And so they're going to cause you all kinds of problems. If you want to have good gut health, you need to eat animals that weren't poisoned. And that's just one aspect of the poisoning. They also are fed GMOs, which are often laden with lots of different toxic herbicides and pesticides, as well as fungicides. Every last poison you can possibly think of is put on these grains, and these animals are fed this their entire life. And then you have to think about the environment. You can see behind me our pasture chickens and like what kind of environment they're living in. They get moved every day and they get fresh grass. They have fresh air, they have sunshine, they experience the full gambit of the weather, and the just like natural ability to scratch and peck and look for insects. So there's a massive difference here. And even the organic chicken that's being sold in the store generally is not pastured. So these animals are spending all their life indoors, and if you're lucky and they actually are following the standards and it's all organic grain, that's good. That's great that they're feeding them organic grains, but it's still not the quality of life they should have. And like I said, there's some very shady corporations involved in the production of a lot of these chickens and turkeys and any different type of poultry you see at the store. So you should consider that. And like I said, we will have these chickens available for sale here just in a couple weeks, and we're asking $5 a pound for the whole birds. You can also cut them up if you like. So all right, thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something about how we raise our chickens here.